Today, we're diving into the story of Sudeep Singh, a man who was a central figure in one of India's most vital institutions. And his career, you'll see, helps us answer a really big question.
I mean, just think about that for a second. It's 2020. The whole country just stops. The COVID-19 pandemic hits, and everything shuts down. The challenge isn't just a health crisis. It's a massive logistical nightmare. It's about basic survival. So how on earth do you make sure the food supply gets to everyone who needs it?
80 crore. Let that number sink in. That's 800 million people. That was the scale of the challenge. We're talking about providing food to a population larger than the entire continent of Europe, all while the world was in chaos. This was, without a doubt, one of the biggest food security operations in modern history.
And right at the heart of the team coordinating this unbelievably huge effort was Sudeep Singh. As a top administrator, he was part of the leadership team making sure food grains were moving when pretty much nothing else was. But what prepares someone for a responsibility like that?
Well, the answer really starts with his background, which is this really unique mix of skills. You see, it's not just about moving boxes. It's about having a deep understanding of incredibly complex systems.
So what's so amazing here is this fusion of two totally different worlds. On one hand, you've got a master's in microbiology, a scientific mind trained to understand tiny, intricate systems. And on the other, you have an MBA, the strategic, big-picture thinking of a manager. That combination, it created a leader who could understand the nitty-gritty science of food quality just as well as the massive logistical puzzle of getting it to the public.
And that unique background wasn't just on paper. It was put to the test, day in and day out, over a long and incredibly dedicated career that was pretty much entirely focused on India's food security. Now, to really get his story, you have to understand the Food Corporation of India, or the FCI. This is the absolute backbone of the country's food security system. It's this massive government organization that buys grain from farmers, stores it all safely, and then gets it out to the entire nation. For millions, it is a lifeline.
And this timeline just says it all, doesn't it? He starts his career in '92, joins the FCI in 1999, and then he just stays. For more than 20 years, he rose through the ranks, eventually becoming an executive director. This wasn't just a job for him. It was a lifetime of service inside one single critical institution, which all led up to him being in a leadership role during the nation's biggest crisis in decades.
But his influence didn't just stop at India's borders. Nope. His expertise became so valuable that he actually became a key voice for the country on the global stage. And we're talking about the highest levels here. He was in Geneva, representing India at the World Trade Organization, negotiating really complex policies about public food stockpiles. He was in London at the International Grains Council, helping to shape the global conversation on food security. So you see, he wasn't just implementing policy, he was at the table helping to define it.
Okay, so we've seen the public servant, the top-level administrator, the global negotiator. But who is the man behind that formal title? It's time to peel back the curtain a little bit.
I love finding out these kinds of details. They just add so much to the story. Beyond his main job, he was a key player in helping the FCI get ISO certification. That's a huge stamp of quality and efficiency. And here's a fun one. Back in the day, he was a state-level cricket player. You just know that kind of competitive spirit and discipline carried right over into his professional life.
And finally, you get a glimpse of the person. A man of incredible discipline, a teetotaler, a vegetarian, a daily yoga practitioner. But also a man with a real soul who loves the ghazals of Jagjit Singh and old Hindi film music. And get this, after this whole incredible career, he's just now started learning to play the keyboard. That speaks volumes about a lifelong curiosity and a really well-rounded life.
So it all brings us back to this one final question. What truly defines a lifetime of public service? Is it the fancy titles you hold, the massive crises you help manage, or is it maybe the quiet, day-in, day-out dedication, that unique blend of skills, and the disciplined, principled life you lead when no one's watching? The story of Sudeep Singh suggests it's all of it, woven together into a legacy of keeping a nation fed.